We have pretty good attendance this morning considering, and it's snowing finally out there. Amber not here. Live streaming. All the Brown have seen him a couple of times. Over Alexander here. Say, eliminated. Is Arthur going to make it, Millie?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're
Okay, they're going to make it. One of those made it. Robert Harris. Dylan's here.
They're all that's a month.
Olivia and Millie are here. Richard's here. Oh, Bella.
Yeah, they're here
here.
1 month.
Jessica, you're here. Kelly's here. Morgan is here. Is he going to make it?
Yeah.
Carson is here. Columbus, I guess, will make it. Kenny Williams. Okay.
Webster, he's live streaming.
What?
He's live streaming. He didn't want to get stuck here at the school.
Chris was last week too. Franco is here. Sarah, Eder, I think she's live streaming. Okay. Okay, I think we finished up chapter 11. Do we have anything to wrap up in chapter 11, or do you have that bonus I gave you, the comprehensive problems? Anybody worked on it?
I started it.
I didn't say what it did, it's due before the first page. So you still got plenty of time to work that, opinion problem, comprehensive problems, what they call it. Okay, I hope everybody has finished with their Cengage on chapter 11. I'll run those, I didn't run them off this, I'll run them off today and see who finished it. But I hate to stay gone, so I'm with it. All right, how about chapter 12? Has anybody finished chapter 12 Cengage?
I started it last.
Jessica, how did you do on it? Did you get 100 on it? All right. Rest of you have to start. So work on chapter 12 Cengage as soon as possible and as much as possible. Oh, all right, on these nice snow days when you have nothing else to do, there's always accounting. All right. Now, chapter 12. I want to review one type problem. Remember, chapter 12 has about 5 objectives in it. One is starting a partnership. 2 is splitting income in a partnership. And 3 is taking in a partner. 4 is letting the partner go. And 5 is liquidation. That's the whole chapter. So once you get those 5 concepts, you got it. Please do well on this first test, because the next 2 chapters, 13 and 14, is going to be some hard material. Some of you find it easy, but some of you find it harder than definitely any other chapter we've had. Okay. Because it's corporations and bonds, and it's all new. All right. Let's take a problem and split some income this morning, just as a review. We'll just take partners A, B, and C, and they're going to share profit and losses on a basis of 3, 3, 2. Okay, they're gonna have net income this year of 150,000. They've got to split. I want you to give them a salary of 10,000, 10, and 5. I want you to give them 10% interest on their investment. And their investments are all right. So first off, give them a salary out of this 150. Give them 10% interest on their investment out of this 150, and split the remainder in a ratio according to 332. So take a minute and do that. Okay, take a minute, wrap it up. Arthur, I thought you texted me that you were live streaming.
Sorry?
I thought you texted me you were live streaming.
No, I didn't.
Wait a minute, okay.
I wish I could have your number.
No, that wasn't you. I'm sorry. That was Amber. Arthur and Amber's totally not close. All right, let's look at this problem, folks. We're going to give a salary of $10,000 and $10,000 and $5,000 is $25,000. Still have 125 left. Now 10% interest on their investment. 10% of 50 is 5,000. And 10% of 50 is 5,000. And 10% of 25,000 is 2,500. That would add up to 12 and a half. All right, now you've got 37,500. But we're going to give out 150,000. So that leaves 100 and what to give out? 112,500. Is that correct? All right, now that 112,500. Now, if we give it out according to their investment, that'd have been 50, 50. That'd been probably 2 to 1. But I didn't ask that. I gave you 3 to 2, which adds up to 8. So 3/8 of this goes to A, and 3/8 goes to B, and 2/8 goes to C. So what is 3/8 of 112,500?
42,187.
All right, 42,000.
And 87.
All right. We could have rounded off, but I didn't tell you to do that. So this would be the same. 42,187.50. And this would be how much? How much?
28,135.
Now, that should equal 112,500. Now, when we add up what goes to each person, how much does A get? 42, 52. Is that 57, 187.50? And plus 57, 187.50 plus, all right, what does this one add up to? 28, 30.
35,625.
Now 35,625 looks correct. Is that what you got, Jessica? And those three should add up to be 150,000. All right, that's as hard as it gets. And if we happen to have a net income, if we only had a net income of, let's say, 30,000, then this has to add up. They didn't have a loss. They still had a gain of 30,000. But this has to add up to 30,000. So to make this add to 30,000, we've got to put a minus in there. If that's 37.5, we've got to put 75 minus and split that 75 minus in 3:3:2 ratio and subtract and it works out. So that's probably as hard as it gets on dividing net income, okay? Now, did I give you some exercises at the end of the chapter to do today? What were those, Morgan?
Page 614. Exercises 1, 3, 10, 14.
Okay, repeat them again. 1, 3.
1, 3, 10, 14, 16.
All right. Those little exercises would not have taken you that long. Okay, page 641. Reporting partner's original investment or recording it. You're to journalize a journal entry for these two partners that were proprietors, or they could be two individuals. Okay, so if you have that one, if you haven't read it, please read it while I'm booting up some solutions. All right, now this partner, Kimberly Payne, put in cash of $20,000 and then accounts receivable of $140,000. Merchandise inventory of $101,700, equipment of $81,200. But to go along with that accounts receivable, we're going to put in $4,400. Now here you took out the allowance from what they gave you. So you should have used the fair market value of all these items. Kimberly and Arizona decided to form a partnership by combining the assets of their separate businesses. Payne contributes the following assets to the partnership. Cash is cash. Accounts receivable with a face amount of $145 and an allowance of $4,200. All right, merchandise inventory with a cost of $92, but you see that's worth $101,700. And equipment with a cost of $136, accumulated depreciation $45. They agree that $5,000 accounts receivable are completely worthless. That's why you wrote off $5,000 right away. You're putting a fair market value of $140,000 accounts receivable. All right, that $4,400 is a reasonable allowance. All right, and that the merchandise inventory is to be recorded at the current market price of $101 and the equipment to be valued at $81. So you're taking the fair market value. Fair market value of cash is cash. Accounts receivable, you wrote off $5,000 already and you put $4,400 more. The equipment fair market value, the inventory fair market value. So you take your debits minus your allowance and you got your capital of $338,500. Now that's starting a partnership when one person was a proprietorship and they changed it over to a partnership. Number 2, record partner's original investment, also known as number 2. Number 3, dividing partnership income. All right, A, no agreement. We know if there's no agreement, what's your answer? 50-50. This is the second concept, 12-1. You can always go back and practice more of these, like 12-2. It's leaving something off here. Let's see. Just simply wanted to get it to move over. I don't know what it to do. Didn't want that either. All right, bottom line, it's $145,000 equal. So how much money did they make? How much money are we splitting? 290,000?
Yes.
All right. So first we'll split equal. B, dividing the ratio of original capital investment. That's 210 and 70. Well, 210 and 70. What kind of a ratio does that say? I can't write on here, I don't think. 210 and 70 adds up to 280. 210 over 280 is what percent? How much? No. Divide 280 into 210. What does that give you? 75? Even? All right, so what is 75% of 290? 75% of 290 should give you 217.5. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then the other 25%, 70 over 280, is 72,500. All right, and the third way to split investment, interest at the rate of 5% on the original investment and the remainder divided in a ratio of 2 to 3. All right, we're going to give them interest on 210. What is 5% of 210?
$1,500.
All right. I really need this notepad. I really should have had my ammo hooked up over there. Well, what do we give them? 5% interest? Is it 5%?
Yeah.
All right, so that's 10,000. Okay, that's for first partner. And 5% of 70,000.
35.
Now, if we add those two together, 10.5 and 35, that will give me what? 14,000. But how much did I have to give out? How much income am I splitting? It 190, 290, what?
290.
So we have how much here to split in a ratio. Subtract 14 from 290 and you get 2 what?
276.
All right, now we're supposed to split that 276. Was it a 2 to 3?
Yes.
That's easy. That's 40% and 60%, or 2/5 or 3/5, or it's decimal 40, decimal 60, whatever. What is then 40% of 276?
110.
And then 60%?
165. 600.
165, even?
600.
All right, those together should be 276. Add them up. What is this? 120,900. Good morning, Eva. You're just in time to get dismissed. Anyway, I'm kidding. We still got a ways to go. All right. This is 169. 1, I suppose. Now, I hope 169.1 and 120,900 is equal to 290. All right, so your answers would have been those amounts. All right. $217.5 and $72.5, or 129 and 169.1. Now, looking at the fourth situation, which is D, All right, salary allowances of 36 and 45, and the balance equal. Now, that was easy enough. Gives you 140 and 149.5. But this last one, we probably should work out. That was TH and PA, I suppose. Okay, let's work the last one. All right, what does it say to give them, to begin with, a salary of how much? This is E. This is 3E. I guess that's TH and PA, isn't it? Taylor, Halls, and Piper Albright. Okay. How much salary are we give them in E?
36 and 40.
It says E, allowance of interest at the rate of 5, salary allowance of 36 and 45. Okay. So salary is 36,000 and 45,000. What does that make? 71,000? That'd make 81,000. All right. And then interest of what percent? 5% of TH's investment is how much?
10.
And 5% of PA's 3,500. Get it right in a minute. That adds up to what, 14? All right. Now we want this to add up to be how much? 290,000? So if you subtract 95 from 290, does that leave 195? How do you say to split 195? Even, remainder, equal. All right. What would that be? 97,500? Jessica, you worked this, correct? Is that what you got, 97.5? All right. What do we get when we add all TH's salary, interest, and net income? What do we get?
141,000.
Even. And the remainder goes to PA, which would add up to be
146.
146 even. Wait a minute.
144.
144?
The first one's 144. The second, yeah, 146.
Yeah, because 44 and 46 has to add up to 90, don't it? Okay, folks. I hope you're getting a hang on to splitting investment. This little exercise does it all. D and E is as hard as they get, and they're not hard. So don't mess up on these little ratios on a test. And we probably should have a test probably after chapter 12. So I won't be mixing up corporations with it. And the next test will be 3 chapters, then 2 chapters, then 3 chapters. All right. And you said we had exercise 10, but exercises from 3 to 10, dividing partnership laws, negotiating income sharing, dividing LLC income, statement of owner's equity. We got up to meeting a partner, letting a partner in. And we talked of some reasons. We want a partner in to help with the duties. Maybe he has some skill we need. Maybe he has a famous name that we need for advertising. Maybe we just need some extra money. All right? A lot of people like to take in a partner. If they fail, they like somebody to fail with them. You know, if you get a car that's a lemon, you like to hear somebody else getting a car that's a lemon. What have you, so. All right, looking at number 10, admitted a new partner who buys an interest and also contributes assets. The capital accounts of Trent and Tim have 160 and 100 balances. Leanne and Becky are to be admitted to the partnership. Leanne Gilbert buys 1/5 of Henry's interest for $35,000 and 1/4 of Tim, whatever his last name is, interest for $29,000. Clark contributed $90,000 cash to the partnership, for which she is to receive an ownership equity of 90. All right, that one's easy. Okay, but Gilbert buys 1/5 of Henry's interest for $35,000. Now, Trent had how much in the business? How much? Well, no, Trent didn't now. Trent had how much?
160.
Oh, did it? Let's see. Let me look at it again. Trent did. And who we buying from? Yeah, we're buying. Okay, what is 1/5 then of 160,000? How much? 32. So the 35,000 means nothing. All right, if you wanted to make separate entries, I would debit Trent Henry capital 32, and I would credit. Okay, what do they got here?
He buys 1/5 from Henry and 1/4 of Childs.
Oh, bought 1/4. Okay, so he bought 25. So Leanne's capital is 57,000. It doesn't matter. How much money did she give up? She gave up 35, and how much to the other partner?
29.
What's 35 and 29? See, that doesn't matter what she gave that partner. She could have gave one partner $1 and another partner a bag of peanuts. It wouldn't matter. The amounts that matter is the capital she gets, which is 57,000. And what they give up, 32 and 25. Now, these two partners had a gain. They'll have to pay taxes on that gain. All right. And then Becky just put in cash, which is the easiest way, debit cash and credit cash. That's admitting a partnership. Admitting a partner. And there's different ways, of course, to admit a partner. The grass is white, but the roads are not. Okay. All right, number 14. All right, now we're admitting a partner with a bonus. Now we're going to look at number 14, your homework. Then I want you to back up and do number 12 after we do number 14. So I'll give you a few minutes in class to do number 12. But let's look at 14 first. All right, these two partners in Elegant Advanced Consultants Bowers, I guess, Lipscomb share income equally. M. Orpis will be admitted to the partnership. Prior to the admission, equipment was revalued downward by 8. The capital balance of each partner are 96 and 40 respectively. Provide the journal entry for the asset reevaluation. You're losing 8,000 on the equipment. Now, how do they share profits and losses equally? Equally, okay. So each one of them will lose how much?
4,000.
That's correct. All right. Each one loses 4,000 and equipment lost 8. All right. B part, provide the journal entry for his admission under the following independent situation. He purchased 20% interest for 20,000. Well, how much is left? 96 and 40. Now remember, they lost 8 of that. So it's not 96 anymore, it's 92 and 36. 92 and 36 adds up to how much? 92 and 36 adds up to what? All right. He purchased a 20% interest for 20,000. Now, is it 20% of that, or is it 20% after you add the 20,000? All right, he gets 29,600, don't he? He only put in 20,000 cash. Now, where's the 29,600 come from? Kendrick, you got that, don't you? Where's the 29,600 come from?
From the capital account. Plus the 20,000, so the 4,800 is the 9,600 plus the 20,000.
All right. You take the, you add the 20,000 cash to it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you had to, because that'd be the total cap. And you got, he gets how much interest? 20%?
Yeah.
So he gets 29,600. Now he only put in 20,000 cash. The difference is 9,600. Those two old partners has to lose. And you debit their account, you see here, this won't mark it all today, but you debit their accounts for 4,800. They lost by letting in a partner. Now, why would they do that? Maybe they need that partner. This partner got a good deal. He's got 29 capital, he gave 20. Maybe he has some skills they need. Maybe they needed 20,000 real bad. I don't know why they wanted him or needed him, but they did. And then number 14B2 only purchased a 30% interest for 60,000. Gonna go through the same situation. The 92 and the 36, 20 was 148 times 20 gives you 2960. All right, we had that. Okay. And this is what we did for that part. Now look what we did for this next entry. Take the 92, the 36, and the 60 cash. That's 188. We're going to give him 30%, which is only 56.4. But he's putting in 60,000. So a bonus goes to the old partners of 1,800 apiece. Credit their capital for 1,800 apiece. So this is a good problem. I'm giving a bonus here to the incoming partner, and here we gave a bonus to the existing partners. That's all you can get on admitting a partner. Now I want you to back up to number 12. Take about 3 or 4 minutes and see what you can do with number 12.
Yeah, it is.
All right, looking at this problem, Cody Jenkins and Lacey, all right, they formed a partnership to provide landscaping services. Now, after all the tangible assets have been adjusted to current market price, the capital accounts of these three are, no, Cody and Lacey, these two, have balances of 78 and 46. All right, Valerie has expertise with using the computer to prepare landscape designs, cost estimates, and so on. Now, Valerie is admitted to the partnership at a 30% interest for a purchase price of $32,000. All right, now the first thing we've got to do on number 12 is take Cody's capital, Micah's capital, put that 32. Now we have 156. All right, multiply that by 30, and we're going to give Valerie 46.8. All right, but you only gave 32, so somebody's got to lose 14.8, right? Now, how do these partners here split gains and losses? Even. So this will be your entry then. She gets 46.8 capital. She puts in 32 cash. They take a loss or a decrease in their capital of 7,400 apiece. Now again, that's omitting a partner. See, why would a bonus be paid? Well, here's some more probably rationale why you pay a bonus. Why are you giving her 14.8 bonus? They value her expertise. She's able to use a computer to design some landscapes. That's a skill they don't have, okay? So that will help them market, that will help them sell, that will get them more business, okay? Now let's go to 16. And this is letting the partner go. We see we're covering all 5 concepts this morning. We covered starting a partnership, and we covered splitting capital, and now we've covered withdrawal of a partner. Omission of. Now let's let a partner go for whatever reason. So let's look at 16. All right, Lane is to retire from the partnership of Stevens and Associates as of March. After closing the accounts, the capital balances of the partners, he has 150 and Fund has 70 and Rawlings has 60. They have shared net income and net losses in a ratio of 3-2-2. That's 3 sevens, 2 sevens, 2 sevens. All right. Now they're going to adjust some of the accounts. Journalize the entry to record the adjustment of the assets and bring them into agreement with the current market prices. All right. We'll adjust the assets first. Medical equipment, 40,000. Whoa, what's wrong with exercise? The merchandise inventory, they figure, has a 22.3 more value than what the book has, so that's market value. The allowance, we need to increase that by 1,300. And we're going to split the capital 3-2-2. The difference here is 21,000. 3 sevens is 9,000. 2 sevens is 6,000. And 2 sevens is 6,000. Now you have adjusted the accounts for the increase in inventory market value. Now you can let him go real simple. Find out what his capital is. It was 150, and he's gonna get 9 of that increase in inventory, and we're just going to pay him off. We've only got 59 cash, but we're gonna give him a note for the other 100. But we're just letting him go for what he has in the partnership. That's simple. There's more to withdrawal of a partner, but we're going to look at number 24. All right, number 24, we're going to look at a statement of liquidation. It doesn't matter if it's LLC or if it's a partnership. Statement of liquidation. Now, watch this one carefully because I'm going to ask you to do number 23 after we look at number 24. In winding up operations during the month of August, non-cash assets with a book value of 146 are sold for 158. What's the difference between 146 and 158? What's the difference? Tanner? What's the difference? 146 and 158? 12,000. Okay, 12,000. Well, now that's a gain the partners have to split. The LLC, but they're still partners. All right, we're going to sell the assets for 146. That's a 12,000 gain. Now they were going by 221. That's 2/5, 2/5, 2/5. So 2/5 of that 12,000 gain is 4,800. 1/5 is 4,200. Now the partners have cash, liabilities. Here's Lester, Torres, and Hurst. Now we're going to pay off those liabilities. Here's the balance that are left. We've got enough cash to pay these 3 owners. We give them that cash and we have 0 balances. It doesn't always work out that nice. Sometimes you have bigger losses in there. And here's the journal entry. The debit, Lester, towards Hurst, and credit cash. It's closed now. All right, now back up and see what you can do with number 23. Take a minute, do number 23. The format will look like this, but this will be partnerships. Sarah, I had 10 calls to it. All right. Out there. Oh, there's a part of it. Okay, let's look at that one. Number 23. Almost the same situation. What are we selling the non-cash assets for? All right. Now, non-cash assets, you start off with your balance sheet, and your non-cash assets are worth 96. Whatever you have on the books for don't mean that you can get it in the real world, so we got 90. We write off the assets, 96, and we split that loss in 3/6, which is 1/2, 2/6, which is 1/3, or 1/6. All right. That leaves them a balance of 32, 52, 43. Well, 52, 43, 19, and liabilities of 32. We got cash to pay all of those. Pay off the liabilities first. Look at our balances. We pay off the partners, and it's closed. It's ended. I'm going to make a journal entry. It would probably be, actually, you could debit here. You would just credit cash and debit their capital accounts. That closes out the business. Okay, that's the 5 concepts in the chapter. Okay, now to review those concepts again, one more time, we're going to review them, plus hopefully review them once or twice on Cengage. All right, starting on page 620, I want you to do some A problems for Thursday. 1A, 2A, 4A. Now, these may overlap or be the same problem that you have on Cengage, but these are the 4 we want to go over on Thursday. 1A, 2A, 4A, 6A. All right, and you're dismissed today. 10 minutes early. Be careful. Don't slip, slide away. Okay? Appreciate you all coming out today with all these weather reports. Just get home safe.
Yeah.